Well, welcome everybody to the 7 p.m. version of the Eat Clean, Get Lean 12-week coaching program. My name is Mike Keenan, and my wife Susan is at home right now, but she'll be listening to the entire presentation as we go. Let me just hit that. There you go. Clean up my screen a little bit. And we're really excited to have everybody here tonight. I got a lot of great information to share. The webinar should take about 30 minutes for me to get through a pretty good explanation as to what we're doing with regards to the Eat Clean, Get Lean program. This is our fourth time we've done it. Every time we've done it, I feel like I've improved it, definitely upgraded this time. We got some really great new stuff to share with you. So if you've been on the call with us in the past, I got some new stuff to show you tonight that's really going to blow your mind. We have tremendous success. I have pictures, testimonials that talk about the success we've had. And we really feel at this point in time, we've left nothing out. We've really got everything with regards to exercise, nutrition, mindset, products, lifestyle. We talk about sleep and hydration and restorative exercise, and we feel like we've learned from the best of the best. If you look over the last 12 years we've been here, I've worked with Paul Chek, who is a tremendous mentor in the program with regards to organic and natural foods and exercise and restorative exercise. I work with Will Smith from IntraFit. I work with Dr. Jay Tita from Metabolic Effect. I work with Phil Kaplan on his Alive program. Work with Dr. Fred Hatfield, who is the president of the International Sports Science Association. And from a performance level, he was the first athlete ever in competition to squat over 1,000 pounds. So I got a background from physicians, bodybuilders, performance athletes. I just really feel like we're in a really, really great place. So I have 7 o'clock on my screen right now. So I feel like I'm getting ready to go. Some people may be running a couple minutes late and they'll just join in where we are. But get ready for an exciting 3 months. By the time we're done with this program, you'll know exactly what you need to do in order to get lean by eating clean and exercising properly. And like I said, you know, we don't think we left any stone unturned with regards to exercise, nutrition, mindset. We have all the tools that you need to get exactly where you want to be. It's like anything else. You just got to follow the blueprint. And the image in your head I want you to have is this. If you had a jigsaw puzzle and you needed one piece that needed to go in, otherwise you couldn't make out what it was, you know, you need to do all the things we're going to teach you how to do. You can't leave anything out or you're going to have limited success. With some things, if you don't complete everything that we ask you to do, you'll have no success. Okay. For example, if you are trying to bake a cake and you take your flour and your milk and your butter and your sugar, but you don't put an egg in it, it just falls apart because the egg is what holds it together, right? So it's really important that you kind of follow along. So let's jump right into it. Let's get started. Susan knows that if she can't hear me, she's going to text me. But it's according to my clock, it's 7 minutes after 3, or try it again, it's 3 minutes after 7. Reverse that backwards. She would have gotten in touch with me by now. So I guess everything's moving along. So let's get started here. So what we're going to teach you tonight is how to escape the diet trap. And here we have this woman. She doesn't look real happy because she's got a headache because her blood sugar is bottoming out because she's probably not eating enough. And I'll explain that in just a few minutes. So she's not eating enough. She's exercising too much. Let's cover the 3 key points we're going to learn tonight. We're going to talk about the hormonal effect of food and how it affects your body. We're going to talk about hormonal balancing, walking and sleep and resting. We're going to talk about the hormonal effect of intense exercise and how important that is to meeting your goal. So what can you expect to learn tonight? By the end of tonight, we're going to define the big difference between fat loss and weight loss. We're going to talk about having robust amount of energy, and we're going to talk about how you're going to go about reducing hunger and cravings. So what is typically taught out in the mainstream media? They say, well, just eat less and exercise more and you'll lose weight. And what we say is, well, that doesn't work for most people. As a matter of fact, it doesn't really work for anybody, not in the long term. And I'll explain why in just a few minutes. Here I have a wonderful graphic. You see 2 red fields and 2 blue fields, okay? The red fields are what we're going to try to avoid from this point forward. So let's focus your attention to the lower right-hand corner where it says eat less and exercise more. Now, this is the typical diet and exercise program that most people choose in order to try to lose weight. And the truth of the matter is you will lose weight. You will lose stored body fat, but you will also lose a lot of muscle, and you'll also lose your ability to balance your metabolism, and it will increase your hunger and cravings and lower your energy. And you know what you'll do after that? You'll switch up to the top left-hand corner where it says eat more and exercise less, because you can't sustain an eat less and exercise more model, not for long. Okay, so what happens when you start to eat more and exercise less? You gain back some of the muscle you lost, but you gain a lot of that fat back. As a matter of fact, you're probably going to gain more back than you lost in the eat less, exercise more model. So what do we teach? We teach if you're going to eat less, you need to exercise less, and that'll help to balance your metabolism and stimulate fat loss. And at some point in time, we'll switch off to an eat more, exercise more model, because once we've got your metabolism stabilized, now we can start to use the eat more, exercise more model to gain more tone, more definition. And remember, muscle burns fat. So the more muscle you have, the more fat you can burn, and the easier it is to sustain long term. So people say, whoa, wait a minute, Mike. I want to lose fat and I want to gain muscle at the same time. The term for that is called metabolic multitasking, and it's a myth. It can't be done. Your body either wants to lose stored body fat or wants to gain lean mass, but it can't do both at the same time. The only people that are capable of doing that at the same time are those people that are using copious amounts of steroids. And that's why they use them, quite frankly, because the bodybuilders, the wrestlers, the boxers, they all want to maintain as much lean mass as possible, but they want to get as light as possible, because things like bodybuilding and wrestling and boxing, they're all based on weight classes, right? If you're below a certain weight class, you get to compete at a lower level. So they want to get leaner, but they also don't want to lose their lean mass. So let's move on. I'll show you how this whole thing works in a realistic standpoint. Now, remember, your brain is a thermostat, not a bank. It's not calories in, calories out. If that were the case, I'd be out of work. And so would most gym owners and most dietitians and, quite frankly, most physicians. So that's not what happens. Your brain is a thermostat. Your brain perceives the environment in which it currently is. So let's look at the thermostat. If it's set on 72 and the temperature in your house drops below 72 and it's the winter, what happens? The thermostat reads the environment and the heat goes on. Conversely, if it's the summertime and you have the air conditioner set and the temperature in your house goes above 72, what happens? The air conditioner goes on. So your body is just like this thermostat. It's going to read the environment in which it finds, and it's going to try to make corrections to maintain homeostasis or balance. So what do people do? Well, here's a graphic of the typical yo-yo dieting. People say, summer's coming, I got to lose weight. So let's cut back on the eating and let's go out and start running 5 miles. Let's exercise more. Well, what happens is your body perceives that you're starving and it doesn't want you to die. So it's going to try to achieve a balance. So if you're not putting enough food in, it's going to slow your metabolism down. So you see here it says metabolic rate decreases. So what happens next? Your brain can't function on the amount of food that you're taking in and the amount of exercise you're doing. So it starts to shut the systems down. It starts to increase your hunger and cravings, and you start to decrease energy. What happens when your energy decreases? You don't feel like exercising. So what happens next? You start to overeat and exercise less. and you get a rebound weight gain. The problem is you don't gain back all the muscle that you lost, but you gain at least as much fat, if not more fat, than you lost. So you're fatter than when you started the eat less, exercise more model originally. Okay, and we see people go through this all the time. This is an example of metabolic compensation. We'll talk about that in a minute. So what do we teach? We teach balance your metabolism first. And how do you know your metabolism is balanced? We're going to teach you an acronym called HEC, hunger, energy, and cravings. And we're going to teach you how to keep your HEC in check while losing fat. And we'll get into that in week 1. I'm just giving you an overview tonight. I can't teach you all 12 weeks in 30 minutes that you have to sign up for. So what happens when your HEC is in check and your metabolism is balanced? You're going to naturally lower the amount of calories you take in because you're not going to have hunger and cravings. And then what happens after that? You're going to get lean and you're going to stay lean because we're going to teach you how to balance out your hormones and balance out your blood sugar. We have something up in the brain called the hypothalamus, and up there is the weight regulating mechanism. That's your thermostat. Remember we talked about the thermostat a few minutes ago? Your weight regulating mechanism is your thermostat, and there are 4 key factors that affect weight gain versus weight loss, or fat loss, as we like to say it, okay? So what are they? Food, chemicals, and additives. Your brain doesn't know what the heck these things are, and it's probably going to cause you to store more body fat because the problem is your body stores toxins in fat. And food chemicals and food additives are nothing more than toxins, okay? They're there to make the food last longer so they can increase shelf life, not increase the nutritional value of the food. So the first thing we want to do to help out the weight regulating mechanism is we want to cut out food chemicals and additives. Then we have exercise, movement, and rest. Okay, there's an appropriate amount of exercise and then there's inappropriate. So we're going to teach you how to balance out exercise, movement, and rest. But you do have to move. If you don't move, the only time our ancestors didn't move is when there was no food available. And if there's no food available, you have to slow your metabolism down or you starve to death. So there's a balance we have to strike with exercise, movement, and rest. Stress. Your body will hold on to every ounce of fat it can get if you're in a chronic stress situation because you're burning blood sugar at an alarming rate. So it starts to say, we need to conserve fat because we may run out of energy. And the last thing is balancing out blood sugar. We know that if your blood sugar goes too low, you start to break protein down because protein is capable of being broken down to create glucose just to feed your brain and nervous system. But what happens when your blood sugar goes too high? Your body has the ability to shunt some of the extra blood sugar from the foods that you eat to your liver and your muscles, but those are finite storage capacity units. Your liver is only so big and your muscles can only store so much glucose or sugar. I'm going to use the term glucose and sugar interchangeably here because they're really the same thing, okay? But what happens when your blood sugar is chronically too high? Your body has the ability to convert it to triglyceride and store it as fat. So balancing out your blood sugar helps to keep the weight regulating mechanism doing its job. Now, with regards to food, here we have a bucket. And we all know that if you have big rocks, little rocks, pebbles, and sand, in order to put the big rocks in, they have to go in first. Because if you fill the bucket up with sand, there's no room for the big rocks. So there's a hierarchy in what you do with regards to nutrition. So here's our hierarchy. Here's our big rocks, little rocks, pebbles, and sand. The first thing you need when you're starting off your food plan is we want protein, carbohydrates, and fats in the right proportions, okay? Those are the big rocks. They got to go in first. The next thing we shunt down to is vitamins, minerals, fiber, and water, okay? Those are all very important components. They also belong in the meal, but a lot of the carbohydrates, fats, and proteins are inclusive of these, so that's a big help. The next thing is supplements. I'm going to make a very strong case in week number 8 of this program why you don't get all the nutrients you need to have optimal health and wellness without supplementing. Okay, we have to look at things like where the food is grown. When was it picked? If it wasn't picked ripe, it didn't have time to absorb all the nutrients into the plant. If it's grown in soil that's nutritionally depleted and they're just dumping a lot of nitrogen in there like you do on your lawn to get it to grow, there's not enough nutrients in there, okay? If the soil is poor in the microbes that are in the soils, by the way, the same microbes you have in your small intestines aren't in place, the plant can't absorb the nutrients, so you're not getting anything out of it, okay? So we're going to make a very strong case on why you need to supplement your diet with a good quality organic nutraceutical. And the last thing is free range, wild caught, cage free, organic. Okay, those are very, very important components, and we'll talk about that through the program as well. So we mentioned metabolic compensation a little while ago. Here's just another graphic just to kind of review it. When you eat less and exercise more, okay, you start to decrease your metabolism because your body needs to find a balance. That's called metabolic compensation. What happens? You're not eating enough. Your body says we need more food, so you get significant increased hunger and cravings, and you get decreased energy, and of course you get the weight regain and overcompensation. So what's so bad? What can happen next? Well, the next step down the road, if you don't make those changes, is we start running into something called metabolic resistance. Now, this is where people get into a situation where they're going on chronic low-calorie diets and extreme exercise, and they have weight loss plateaus that they can't get past. And when that happens, your hunger, your cravings increase while your energy decreases, and you have zero motivation to exercise. And we see this all the time. People coming in going, I can't lose weight. Can you teach me what to do? And that's why we came up with the Eat Clean, Get Lean program. So people sometimes get real stubborn. They say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reduce the calories even more because I'm not losing the weight. And that makes your metabolic resistance even worse. Remember, if you push, the body's going to push back, and your brain and nervous system is going to win out every time. Okay, so now we start to see changes in brain chemistry. You start to get increased stress, moodiness, fatigue, hormonal imbalance. The body's starting to shut down. You have decreased motivation, and you're going to sense a lack of confidence because your brain and nervous system is all out of whack. Now, the next step, unfortunately, we see this sometimes come in, and this is after the person's been to the doctor and they're all kinds of pharmaceuticals to try to help. Things like adrenal fatigue, polycystic ovarian syndrome, digestive issues. We start to see poor growth of hair, skin, and nails. We start to see autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, lupus, leukopenia. Okay. I had leukopenia back in my days when I was going through my bodybuilding and my wrestling days because I was calorie restricting. Okay, so I know what it's like. I gave myself quote unquote metabolic damage. And if you ever see any ex-athletes with real thin arms and real thin legs and a big abdomen, that's a sign of metabolic damage because their body is unable to process the foods that they eat, and their hormones are all out of balance. Okay, so what else do we see? We see muscle wasting increases and body fat increases. There's your thin legs, thin arms, big abdomen, adrenal fatigue, hypothyroidism, mitochondrial diseases. Okay, the answer to these things are not found in a prescription. They're found in stress management, sleep, walking, restorative exercise, good nutrition, and proper exercise. Matter of fact, when most people come to us with this, we actually cut back on their exercise, and Susan dives in there with their food. We got to get their hormones rebalanced. We got to get your blood sugar rebalanced. We got to get your stress levels down. And that's how we make change. So it's not, people come to me and it's just about the exercise. It's not. The exercise is an important component. It's a piece of the puzzle. But in order to correct metabolic damage, you need to get your blood sugar rebalanced, and you got to get your stress down, and you got to get your hormones back in check. So what's the solution? We came up with the solution. We feel that this is the best solution out there. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to make the case for that. I'm going to show you exactly what you're going to need to do to eat clean and get lean with our online coaching program. Now, let me say this real quick. There are people online who are saying to themselves, This is all great, Mike. I know I'm going to get videos and teach me how to exercise. I know you're going to coach me with my nutrition. I know I'm going to be coached by you every Wednesday night, but I think I need more help. Well, there is an option, obviously. We have a studio, and if you're anywhere on the southern Monmouth County, northern Ocean County area, you can come to our studio. We do one-on-one personal training and private suites. So not only am I going to be coaching you online, but I can also train you in our studio. So if you're interested in that, you get in touch with us, and we'll have you come in for a complimentary consultation, and we'll talk to you about in-house personal training. But there's people that aren't within the sound of my voice. They're, in other states, in Long Island, North Jersey, or we have people tonight from the West Coast who are going to be listening in. Okay, so you can't come to me, but we have exercise videos with fitness models and voiceover, and all you have to do is get them on your tablet, your iPhone, your laptop, and you can follow along with our exercise programs. We'll coach you through that way with the nutrition, piece of cake. We had videos on that, and we also have your online coaching every Wednesday night. So we got it covered, whether you're online with us for the next 12 weeks or you want to come to us. Is that a good picture, Susan? All right, let's start with the first 28 days. The first 28 days are really, really important. We call the first 28 days our 28-day sprint. And we're going to talk about 3, 2, and 1. 3 meals a day, 2 protein shakes, and 1 whole food meal. Okay? And we're going to teach you how to make the protein shakes. We're going to teach you what to use. With regards to the 1 whole food meal, we're going to teach you the composition of that too. The whole food meal is going to be the one that you're going to add the starch to. Starch is a form of carbohydrate. We're going to teach you the difference between a starchy carbohydrate and a fibrous carbohydrate. Fibrous carbohydrates are things like asparagus, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, broccoli, kale, lettuce, romaine lettuce, spinach, where starchy carbohydrates are more like your potatoes, sweet potato, white potato, quinoa, brown rice, oatmeal, all those kind of things. Now, let me say this first. There are people who are saying, next 4 weeks, 2 protein shakes a day. I love protein shakes. I'm with you. I'm in. Other people saying, you know what? There's got to be some options for me. I don't think I can do 2 protein shakes a day for the next 4 weeks. We have options, okay? We can convert the foods that are found in a protein shake, and we can make it into, for example, an omelet in the morning with turkey bacon and spinach. That would be protein, very low in fat, and fibrous carbohydrate, which is exactly what a protein shake is. Could be a salad at lunchtime with lots of steamed broccoli or cauliflower, greens, your romaine lettuce, your spinach, and a good protein source like chicken or turkey or a piece of salmon. Okay, so we have options. This is not hard, fast rules. We're going to give you structure, but it's going to be some flexibility in that structure. Okay, what happens if they build a skyscraper that doesn't move at all? Okay, it'll just break apart. There has to be a sway. I know in the new Freedom Tower they built, I think there's about a 6-foot sway side to side, probably even more than that. Okay, remember, we want you to bend, not break. So we're going to teach you how to do that. Let's talk a little bit about the protein shake design. Well, first of all, protein is responsible in the body to build muscle, your immune system, which is huge because every time people come to us with chronic colds and coughs and they're always sick, we always look at their protein levels. If they're not getting adequate protein, their immune system is going to break down. Hormones and enzymes. Hormones are the messengers in your body. They tell the organs what to do. Enzymes, that helps with digestion. It breaks things up so that the body can utilize them. Collagen is everything. Hair, skin, nails, everything that holds you together. And RBCs is red blood cells. That's the oxygen carrying capacity of your blood. So if you don't have adequate protein, your red blood cells are going to knock down and you're going to be fatigued all the time. So it's very important you eat your protein. Protein can also be broken down into glucose if needed. So when we get more into the eat more, exercise more model, and our exercise increases, we may start to talk about some of the performance drinks that you can use that have branched chain amino acids in them. But we'll talk about that at the end. Fiber is very important in a shake. It aids in digestion, being satisfied, along with the protein. And the protein shake we're going to be talking about tonight has milled chia seed in it, which is an excellent, one of the best forms of fiber you can have. And when you look for a protein, you're going to look for a good quality whey that is both casein and lactose free. Those are the things that usually trip people up, is the casein and the lactose. The people have, oh, I can't do dairy because it upsets my stomach. Those are the things that usually get you. Okay, sweetened with stevia, no artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. That's what we're looking for. Now, in your whole food meal design, we're looking for a good lean source of protein: grass-fed beef, chicken, turkey, organic pork, a good piece of fish. Okay, we're looking for a good fibrous carbohydrate. We're looking for a big green salad. We're looking for broccoli, cauliflower, spinach, Brussels sprouts, asparagus. Really good stuff. Healthy fat could be avocado, could be some almonds, could be some olive oil that's in your healthy salad dressing we're going to teach you how to make. And a starchy carbohydrate. This is where the starch is really, really important, because it helps to feed the brain nervous system and facilitates a restful night's sleep. If you go without a starch at nighttime, you're risking the fact that you're going to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and not be able to fall back to sleep. And then you'll eat anything you get your hands on. So in this program, we're going to make sure that your heck is in check, your hunger, energy, and cravings are good, you're getting your sleep, you're staying hydrated, but we're also going to make sure that you're losing stored body fat if that's your goal. We have a friend, his name is Mike Hollemans. He has a company called eClean Delivery, okay? This is not part of my business model. This is just a friend who buys really great organic food and cooks them into portion-controlled meals, okay? He has meals that have all the things we just talked about in the whole food meals: starches, healthy fats, fibrous carbohydrates, and good sources of protein. If you're interested in using his service while you're doing this program or any other time, just let me know. He gives a discount to our clients. Like I said, I get nothing financially from eClean Delivery. I'm just letting you know he's out there. He does not have his website up yet. However, I can direct you to his Facebook page, and you can get all the information there. I have handouts here in the office. If you can't come to the office, let me know. I'll email something to you. But if you're not someone who's able to cook a meal in the evening, or we get to the point where you want something like this for lunch, he delivers right to your home or office, and he's right here in southern Monmouth County. So just letting you know he exists. Okay. Let's talk about strength training. What are we going to do for exercise? Well, we're going to focus on a 3-2-1, 2 strength training routines a week. They're going to be aggressive. They're going to get you breathless and burning. I'll talk about a little more of that in a few minutes. And the one thing we're going to talk about is you're going to do an hour of walking a day to get your hormones, your stress levels in check, and keep your blood sugar where it needs to be. So why are we doing resistance training? Why is that so important to our program? Performing exercise to temporary muscle failure causes the production of lactic acid. Lactic acid is the key that unlocks the door to all the healing compounds, things like testosterone, human growth hormone, and other tissue repair hormones, okay? This is where the body starts to say, you're pushing me, I got to push back. Well, it's a temporary, intense, short duration type of exercise that causes this. So this is what we would call an acute form of stress, which is good for you. It reproduces a fight or flight response. Okay, fight or flight is you're walking down the road. It's 4,000 BC. You run into a saber-toothed tiger. At first, you freeze. Well, maybe he didn't see me. Oh, he saw me. Okay, now I either got to run or I got to fight this wild animal off. Okay, if you survive the encounter, you may have gotten a gash or a laceration. You might have broken a bone. You might have torn a tendon. Okay, your body has to heal itself. So after this intense type of situation, your body goes into healing mode. All we're doing is we're tapping into that with an exercise model that's going to reproduce the same thing. Okay, so what happens when we exercise hard? Okay, when we work to temporary muscle failure, we send a very strong signal to our brain to increase the number and the size and the function of the mitochondria in our cells. Now, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell where fat and oxygen are burned. So think of it in these terms. You have a locomotive, an old steam locomotive. You put coal and water in it. You light that sucker up, and you heat the water and you get steam. So you're converting the heat from the coal to the water to create steam. Okay, it's the steam that drives the piston in a locomotive, just like in a nuclear power plant. What spins those turbines is the steam that's created by utilizing the nuclear fuel. Say that 3 times fast, okay? So the mitochondria is the engine of the cell. And if we have a very weak engine, we don't burn any fuel, okay? So people talk about, I'm type 2 diabetic, okay? It's not because so much that you're not producing enough insulin, it's that your mitochondria and your cells are so weak and sluggish that they're not looking for any fuel. So how do we change that scenario? We start to exercise. So exercise along with proper diet is the cure for type 2 diabetes. If you have type 2 diabetes, it's not a disease, it's a condition. So taking more medication to fix the problem is not the solution. The solution is to control your diet and to start exercising, make the cell hungry. The mitochondria will say, whoa, 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 we got to fix this. Let that sugar back in, and now the system starts to run again. Okay, big misconception on type 2 diabetes. It's very fixable. First 4 weeks, we're going to focus on restorative activities, things like massage, intimacy with a loved one, time with pets, laughter, reading, go see a funny movie, okay? These are things that allow your body to restore itself, because after you aggressively work it, you have to go into the healing process. If you paint a wall, you don't, 5 seconds later, you don't put your hand on the wall to see if it's dry. You know it's not dry. It has to heal. Or if you pour concrete, it has to cure. Okay, so we're going to do the aggressive exercise, and then we're going to let you restore yourself. So why the 1 hour walking a day? Okay, it balances the stress hormones of cortisol and the adrenal hormones, and reduces the incidence of adrenal fatigue. It helps to balance out insulin and blood sugar levels. Now, it's also genetically instinctual. Our ancestors walked. That meant things were good. There was no danger. There was food available. As opposed to jogging, which for most people increases their cortisol level, increases blood sugar instability, and increases their adrenal stress hormones. Jogging is like trying to take a locomotive up to 200 degrees and nothing happens. Why? Because you have to boil water, and water boils at 212. So if you just take it to 200, you just got hot water, and that's what you'll be in. For most people, you'll be in hot water if you try to go out and jog, because it doesn't work for most people. You need to do aggressive, short-term, acute, stressful exercise, creating a temporary muscle failure, and then you need to restore your body with walking and other restorative exercises, like getting a massage and taking care of your dog. Your dog sitting on your lap helps to lower your stress level, right? Cats are good. Okay, I don't know about kangaroos. What do they do in Australia? Okay, in week 5, that was a joke. In week 5, who's having more fun here, you or me? I'm having a ball here, because everyone's going to get so much better, and they're going to feel so much better. They're going to come and they're going to say, Mike, this is great. Okay, in week 5, we switch off to an eat more, exercise more model. Okay, now that the hormones have been reset and the fat burning metabolism is in place, now we add more food, more exercise, and now we're building lean mass. And that's what's going to build tone. That's what's going to build definition. And this is a great picture. I'm like the luckiest guy in the world. And she can cook too. This is pretty awesome. But no, Susan and I really have this down pat. We know what you need to do in order to achieve your goal. So we're going to we're going to ramp up the exercise in week 5. She's going to hit me when I get home. after saying all that stuff. Okay, week 6 through 12. Well, that depends. That's where the coaching starts to come into play. What you do moving forward is between you and I. Okay, so some people are going to start to go into and eat less, exercise less, just certain parts of the week, and maybe they'll eat more and exercise more on the weekends when they tend to eat more. But this is where it's between you and I. This is where the coaching comes into play. So I have a couple really great testimonials I want to share with you. People that have really done well on our program. And pictures are worth 1,000 words. Okay, so this is from Debbie. Debbie said, this is from a previous Eat Clean, Get Lean program. So when I get to the word April in here, it's not now. This is a year ago when we first started the program. I just put away my 12s, my 10s, and most of my 8s thanks to KM Fitness. For the past 2 years, I've been working hard trying to lose those 30 pounds I put on since my 43rd birthday. In April, I lost most of it, but was stuck with more to lose to really fit into my clothes and feels comfortable. So she hit a plateau is what she's saying. Since working with KM Fitness, I've dropped 7 pounds since April, but more importantly, I went from 25% body fat down to 20.3% fat, and the fittest I've been in 16 years. She lost 7 pounds, but lost almost 5% body fat. What does that tell you? She gained lean mass and tone and definition. And if you look at her abdomen, you can tell she gained lean mass and she lost stored body fat. The best part is that the nutrition plan feels like a new way of living for me, definitely not a diet. I feel like I can continue on without a problem. I've established the habits I need to maintain this weight and to keep improving. I don't feel hungry all the time. When I'm hungry, I eat a lot of good food that is fueling my workouts and keeping my energy up. So she's still working out, and she has good energy. My hunger, energy, cravings, my heck are in check. So we're going to start off with that 28-day sprint. We call that the 28-day transformation, okay? And there's 3 types of people on the line. Number 1 are the people who are in here for weight loss. They say, Mike, I got to lose weight. Okay, we got a program for that, and you're going to be able to do fine with it. Then I have those people say, you know what, I need to lose like 5 pounds, but more importantly, I want to get some more tone and more definition. Okay, we have a fitness component, and again, there's a lot of structured flexibility in this program, and they're going to be able to do that. And the last type of person is the performance. Mike, I'm at my goal weight. I'm feeling really good, but you know what? This is the year I'm going to do my first triathlon, or I'm going to go back to doing bodybuilding, or I'm going to go back to competing in volleyball or something. I want to get back to where I was, and I know I can do it. Okay, we have that type of program as well. But it all starts with its first 28-day sprint. So the base kit that we're going to recommend to everyone is from ID Life. We have a shake, which is your meal replacement shake. It's the protein with the chia seed I spoke to. Most people are mixing this with some almond milk or some coconut water, coconut milk. Now we even have cashew milk. People are doing that too. I'm at work. I don't have any of that. I mix it with water, put it in my shaker bottle, and that's my my breakfast. Now, included in my breakfast is I'm using a product called Energy, which replaces my coffee in the morning. So I take my protein powder, my shake, and my Energy. I put it in a shaker. Boom, there's breakfast. In the afternoon, I can do the same thing. Okay, because it helps keep me going the day. Nice thing about the Energy is it doesn't give you that huge caffeine rush like a jolt kind of thing. It's not that way at all. It's actually some triphasic application that releases its energy slower, so it doesn't give you that rush. And the last product, I have clients that are on this, they love it. It's called Lean. It helps, number one thing, it helps to eliminate those sugar cravings. It's going to help to keep your metabolism balanced. It's actually going to boost your metabolism, and it's going to cut back on your hunger as well. So that's your base kit. And this has been working really, really well for me. I'll show you a picture of me. All right, so let's talk about that first challenge, the weight loss challenge. This is the people who are coming into me now and they're saying, I need to lose weight. Tell me what I need to do with regards to the nutrition and the products and all that kind of stuff. Well, we have some other products that go along with the base kit being the protein, the lean, and the energy. Working left to right, one of the biggest problems my clients have is they don't sleep very well, and they're on all kinds of different kinds of medication. And I'm not going to tell you get off your medication, but what I'm going to tell you is this. The reason most people have problems with sleep is stress. And it could be physical stress, it could be emotional stress. And what does stress increase? Stress increases your cortisol levels. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is decrease your cortisol levels so that you can start to lower your anxiety, lower your stress, improve your mood. Remember, cortisol and melatonin, which helps you fall asleep and stay asleep, are on opposite sides of the same coin. And why is that? If you're sitting on top of the guard tower and the enemy's coming over the hill, you don't want to fall asleep. So your cortisol levels go up to keep you awake. Okay, but we don't have invading armies coming over the hill to attack us in the middle of the night. We need to go to sleep. So the sleep has two active ingredients. One's called L-theanine and one's called 5-HTP that lowers cortisol level, and it also includes melatonin to help you fall asleep and stay asleep. But the truth of the matter is, once we start lowering that cortisol level at nighttime, okay, your body will naturally produce more melatonin. But this sleep product gives you a little melatonin kick. The other thing you have to know about it is this. If you take a product that you swallow, it goes into your stomach, goes into your small intestines, and it's absorbed there. From there, it goes to the liver, and then the liver puts it back out into the bloodstream. That could take an hour. I don't have an hour. I want to fall asleep now, Mike. So the sleep strips, what you do is you put them under your tongue, where you have a lot of capillary flow. It's absorbed directly into your bloodstream and goes to work right away. So the delivery system on the sleep is the fastest you can get out there, much more faster than a pill, and it works great. I have clients that use it all the time. They love it. Next thing is appetite control. It's like a little Tootsie Roll. It has something called Avantrazine in it, which helps to curb your appetite. But more importantly, it helps you get rid of that sugar craving you just had. The next thing is hydrate. A lot of my clients aren't hungry. They're thirsty because they're not drinking enough water during the day. And they're like, I don't like the taste of water. Okay, well, I give this to my kids now. Matter of fact, they have this with dinner every night. We don't have soda or juice or milk or other junk with dinner. We mix some hydrate in some water, and they drink more water. And if you're better hydrated, your body will naturally start to detoxify itself. It'll help you to lose weight. So I got a bunch of pictures here of some people that are using the product now. And if you look across the top left, that's a physician, and he's lost weight. The woman in the middle actually won a weight loss challenge that we do with ID Life. And so I have the social proof here of people that have succeeded with the product. So this thing works. It works well because it helps to balance out your metabolism, and it's also good food that'll help your body grow. Now here's me. This is me before going on the last transformation. At the end of the transformation, I think I need a new sports jacket. It looks like it's ready to fall off me there. But you can see, well, unfortunately, I have a sports jacket on, so you really can't see it. But if you look on the picture on the left, you can see the weight I was carrying. That's all big bundle of stress with Mike, okay? But I've been able to lose that weight because I've been able to keep myself sleeping properly, and I've been able to keep myself hydrated, and I'm giving myself the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients I need to succeed. You can really, I think you'd see it more on my face anywhere else. So this is from a seminar I did about a month ago. So that's like a before picture and after picture. And here's another picture of one of the women. Now, if you participate with our products, and you submit your story to the company, you can win $500. So she lost 60 pounds, changed her life, and she won $500. So she's pretty excited about that. So we could talk about that in a little more detail. Okay, now here's the next part, the fit challenge. This is the people who are saying, you know what, Mike, I'm 5 pounds away from my goal weight, and I really want to get in better shape. Well, with them, with the Fit Challenge, along with the base, the protein, the lean, and the energy, you might also want to choose to use the hydrate and the sleep to help you achieve that goal. Next is Performance Challenge. Again, I don't think many of us are out there flipping truck tires, but some of us want to play competitive volleyball this summer on the beach. And, I'm already at my goal weight. I just want to get stronger. I want to get more fit. Okay. This is what we were talking about. After week 5, when we start working harder, you may want to use a pre or post workout. Okay. This is based on the fact that you're working out harder and you're trying to keep your blood sugar balanced. And you need more, for lack of better terms, you need more calories to keep things going. Now, the pre and the post, their main ingredient is something called branched chain amino acids. Remember earlier I said that protein can be broken down into glucose or sugar to feed the brain and nervous system? Branched chain amino acids are proteins that break down quickly when the blood sugar starts to get lower. So the body will break down the branched chain amino acid in the drink and not go after your valuable body proteins. That's why. But again, you have to be working out aggressively for a eat more, exercise more model in order to utilize the branched chain amino acid in that way. Okay, so that's that. Now, if anyone says, Mike, do you have any samples of any of this stuff that we're talking about? Well, there you go, right there. So most of the people I've spoken to have the sample kit. In there, you have your meal replacement shake to try. It's delicious. You have a packet of sleep. You have some energy. And if you look, you see those little funny square looking things. The 2 on the left that are red are energy chews, because sometimes you can't drink coffee while you're teaching or driving or something. And then the appetite chews are on the right. Okay, so if you want to get the product, you're going to go to mikekeenan520.idlife.com. Everyone's going to get an email after this presentation tonight, and you'll be able to order your base kit right there. Okay, the other thing I want to offer everyone tonight is you can take a free assessment also at my website. When you go to mikekeenan520.idlife.com, you're going to look in the top right corner and it says take your free assessment now. And you're going to click on that and it's going to bring up this picture of Troy, Troy Aikman, who used to be the quarterback for the Cowboys. He's one of our investors in our company. And you're going to click on new user. And that's going to bring up another page, and you start to fill in the fields, and you're going to create a username and password. And the reason you can do that is it's a HIPAA compliant assessment, which means only you can see the results of your assessment. No one else can see them. And when you're going through the assessment, it's going to give you a report, a free report. And there's also going to be videos in there you can watch. It's really pretty cool. And at the end, it gives you your recommendations on what vitamins, minerals, and nutrients would be recommended to you based on a lot of questions. It's a 28-question online questionnaire. Okay. And if you choose to purchase the products there, you're going to get a 10% discount. I know I told everybody that when you got the initial email, when you watched that little video of me, that got you here in the first place. So as a preferred customer, you save 10% on all the products. Okay, now remember, it takes 4 weeks for you to see change in your body, 8 weeks for your friends and family and the rest of the world. So once you start, you keep going. Okay, so let's kind of wrap this up here, because boy, did I talk a lot. 45 minutes. I was supposed to only take a half hour. Okay, so you got your 12-week coaching program. It includes 12 weeks of weekly webinar coaching. It's going to cover nutrition, lifestyle, exercise protocols, everything you need to get lean and stay lean. We have a private Facebook page where you can ask us questions every day. Susan and I, it's hard for us to take phone calls when we're training people, but we run back in between clients. We'll check our Facebook page. If someone has an issue, we try to give them an answer right away. Susan's going to give you 12 weeks of educational emails, something that you can use every single day during the program. At the beginning of every week, you're going to get a 4 to 5 page handout that's going to prep you for that week's webinar call and tell you what you need to eat. There's going to be recipes in there. I actually skipped ahead of myself. Weekly recipes and workouts explain what to do for that week. You're also going to get a metabolic and brain chemistry assessment with a personalized report outlining your natures and deficiencies. And Susan will go into that in a whole lot more detail. You're going to get exercise, PDFs, and video instruction. And it also includes a 1-year membership to our online portal where everything is clearly organized. So if you missed a webinar, remember the next day you'll get it in your email. But let's say you delete it. And you're like, oh my God, I missed the webinar and I deleted the email copy of it. Don't worry, it's online. We have a member-only username passcode portal where everything is stored. All the exercise videos, all the nutrition videos, all the lifestyle management videos, all the PDFs, anything we've produced in the last 3 years is on that RX Studio portal. And that alone, people just buy that for the year just to access that. That's a $249 value. We're throwing that in. So the value of all the things we're showing you here is a $700 value. But tonight you can sign up for $249. Now, if you're already an in-studio client, you know you get this for free. So, and we did this, we originally did this not as an online coaching program for the general public. I created this because I had a tough time coaching my clients while we're exercising. You can't pay attention to nutrition information when you're exercising because you're exercising so aggressively, you're just focusing on what you're doing, which is important. Okay, so we felt that doing this for our in-studio clients was critical to them achieving their goals. Okay, so if you're an in-studio client, this is free. If you become an associate or preferred customer on the ID Nutrition and you sign up for scheduled delivery, you can get the program for free too. Okay, so basically, if I sell you the airplane, I'm going to teach you how to fly it, is what I'm saying. So by utilizing the products we talked about here, you're going to be able to get the program, the 12-week program for free. We waived the $249 price if you become a client of ID Nutrition or you become an in-studio client at KM Fitness. So I want to thank everybody for coming. Let me open up here, and I'm going to come over to here and, whoop, don't mind me. Okay, so I'm going to publish, whoop. If you go to the right side of your screen, you're going to see chat, room, polls, and pop-ins. Okay, so if you click on pop-ins, or you probably don't even have to click on that, you probably saw the offer come up. So I have my ID Life Preferred Customer offer for the transformation. If you click on that link, the one that says purchase your ID base kit, it'll take you to my page where you can buy your shake, your lean, and your energy. And they come in kits in the different flavors, so you can look at all the different flavors. You can also buy your weight loss challenge option there with the sleep and the hydrate and the appetite chews. You can also get, excuse me, if you're performance, you can get the sleep and the hydrate, or actually if that's the fit, or if you want the performance, that's where the pre and post and the hydrate are in there. So you have a lot of options with regards to that. So I'm going to leave this up for a few minutes here. I'm going to open up the chat room. If anyone has questions, this would be a great time to ask me a question. So I'm going to put questions. Everybody can see that just popped up in your chat room. Okay. I have a question here. Can you succeed without doing the shakes? Yeah, the answer to that is yes, you can, but I will tell you that the vast majority of the people who have done very well in this program utilize the protein shakes. It's less work. Most of us are working full time. We're running out the door in the morning. We're looking for something quick and convenient. So like I said, what I do in the morning is I take my shake and my energy, I make myself a drink, and I get to work. Now, most of the time I am here at the office at 5 a.m. for my 5:15 client, or 6 o'clock in the morning. So I have time, but I choose not to take the time to make breakfast because I like my shake in the morning. And then around lunchtime, usually I'm in between clients, I'm doing a shake. When I'm in the Eat Clean Get Lean program. Now, when I'm in an exercise more, eat more, then, then things are a little different. But that's not the first 4 weeks. The first 4 weeks, we're going to do the eat clean. I mean, eat less, exercise less model. And the shakes really come into play. But again, if you don't want to do a shake every day, we have options. Here's a question. Will I get bulky if I lift weights? Okay, I've been answering that question now for 30 years. Truth of the matter is, you're not going to, because a lot of the programming we're going to do is going to help to build tone and definition. We're going to do a lot of metabolic training. We're going to do training that's designed for you to burn body fat, but not get really bulky. In order to get bulky, the truth of the matter is, especially for women, you don't have enough testosterone to get bulky. Okay, so it's not going to happen. Listen, I exercise very aggressively, and I probably lift 4 times the weight that most of my clients can lift. Okay, and I think if anyone walked in here, they'd say, Mike, you don't look bulky. Matter of fact, I wish I could get bulky, but I can't. When you have a diet, you get lean. That's not going to happen. Now, there was a picture of Jen Hendershot, which I brought up, and she was on the American Gladiators. Let me see if I can bring it back up for you guys to see what she looks like. Give me a second. Here, this is Jen here. I'm sure everyone can see it. Okay, I don't think anyone in their right mind would call Jen big and bulky. Can we say that fairly? So that's definitely not the case. Let me open up my screen again. Here we go. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove that offer, and I'm going to put another offer here. And this is the buy button now. If you just want to do the Eat Clean, Get Lean program, and you're not a studio client and you want to sign up because you're at a distance, or you're local and you have a nice gym in your home, or you go to another gym and you just want someone to coach you for the next 12 weeks, there's the buy button for that. But again, I'm going to see if there's any other questions, and if not, it's almost 8 o'clock, so we're going to shut this down. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. You will be receiving an email probably in the next 5-10 minutes. It depends on my administrative assistant Susan can get to that, with all the links that you're going to need with regards to the product, signing up for the 12-week program if you choose to do that, or if you say to me, Mike, I would really like to become an in-studio client, get in touch with us. Susan will make sure you have our phone number, our contact information for that. But like I said, it's on my clock, it's 7:57. I told everyone it would be a half hour, and I went a little long. But I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Again, we'd love to work with you over the next 12 weeks. If you're one of my in-studio clients, you're in. So let's get this going here, and let's get everybody lean and mean and have a great summer. That's it. If I don't have any questions, I'm going to sign off. So take care. Have a great night, and hope to see you shortly. Bye-bye.